Hello, I'm Jack from TheJackSmit.com, and welcome to Talking Smit That Film Bite-Sized. No BS, no nonsense, no trailers, no clips. We just give you the reviews you want to hear in as short and as concise of a manner as possible. Now, if you watched our Doctor Strange review earlier on in the week, you'll probably know what today's film is going to be, because I just said it right at the very end, and you'll have probably seen the title for it in the YouTube metadata. We're talking Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent today. Quite a unique film, quite a meta film. To give you a flavour of what it's like, and this is lifted from the press notes directly. In this action-packed comedy, Nicolas Cage plays Nick Cage, channeling his iconic characters as he's caught between a superfan and a CIA agent. Sounds ridiculous. It's not often that you see an actor play himself in a movie, but of all the people you'd think would do a thing like this, has to be Nicolas Cage, right? Understandably, the most meta film ever made brings with it a very high set of expectations. And it's relief to say that it delivers on the hype. And I know it's a few weeks on from its main cinema release now, so not everywhere has it. But it delivers everything you expect, and then some more Nicolas Cage craziness. It's Tom Gormican, who is the man tasked with creating a film this crazy and this bonkers, and I cannot fault his commitment to the project. It took him 4 attempts to secure the services of his leading man. And, like I say, getting Nicolas Cage is not easy. It results in a relatively well-paced 1 hour, 47-minute film. It actually flies by. It does have some minor issues, but you can overlook them because it's a film that doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a film that also has a lot of heart to it, as well as all the craziness you've seen in the trailers and on all the posters. I know it's been quite heavily promoted across the View Cinema estate because it's been on the video wall. A lot of real cinemas have been promoting it quite heavily. A lot of Odeon cinemas have been promoting it quite heavily. And I also believe it got showed to unlimited and limitless customers a bit before release as well. It's also handily quite funny too, because it passed the 6 laugh test quite quickly into the film. The script that Gormican has co-written with Kevin Etten makes this, it's arguably a love letter to Nicolas Cage's career. It actually has meaning to it, rather than just being a proper greatest hits collection for the sake of being a greatest hits collection. And this is also before we mention the sheer amount of references to films in general. I mean, any movie that can get away with making a reference to the 1927 Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, a very surrealist German movie, gets extra points from me, having, well, studied it in depth at UCLan back in the day. It passed the 6 laugh test in flying colours. What more is there to like? Cinematography duties, it's Nigel Bluck in charge of director of photography, and Mark Isham of The Accountant fame provides a score. But I think everyone wants to know how well he performs in the film. And, well, what else can I say? It's the most Nicolas Cage performance ever. We'll talk a bit more about him in a bit, but supporting him is Pedro Pascal, who takes this madness and turns it into a proper buddy movie. There was a lot written of Pascal's performance when it went round all of the festival circles a bit towards the end of last year. But the pair of them are able to sell this film's plot incredibly well, and they are very likeable leads. They get on. You can tell they got on during the shoot. They had a lot of fun during the shoot, and that's the best kind of movie when you know that the talent had a lot of fun making it. That's when you know you're on to a winner. You've got Sharon Horgan, E.K. Barinholtz, Tiffany Haddish, and Neil Patrick Harris filling out the rest of the cast. It has plenty of star power to excel. As for Mr. Cage himself, and I know sometimes he can be like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. All I can really say is that this is a performance that only he can nail. It's properly introspective at times, in keeping with his style both on and off screen, which of course it gets referenced a lot within the context of the movie as well. And if it kicks his career off again, which I imagine it will, I really wouldn't be surprised. It's a film that just gets a lot of things right. It's a film that also, and I full credit to Kevin Etten for going for it, states that Paddington 2 is one of the greatest films ever made. And a lot of people here in England will probably agree with that. Only Nicolas Cage could get away with making a movie like this, and it is refreshing to see it do relatively well. I know it's about to drop out of the UK box office top 10 as I record this. I'm recording this on May the 11th, so it's going to drop out of the top 10 this week now that Doctor Strange is out and it's taken over pretty much every screen in the UK. But the ever-evolving meme that is Nicolas Cage's work just gets better and better as a direct result of this movie. Self-referential and proud of it, this is a movie that has been made for users of the website Letterboxd. And if you don't know what Letterboxd is, I strongly suggest you have a look at it, because it's a proper social media network for film nerds. It's where film Twitter lives these days. Without spoiling too much, it is a film that gets a lot of things right. It is a film that is a nerd's dream. It's a film that sort of takes 30 years of Nicolas Cage's movies and compresses it into one single 1 hour 47 bit of brilliance. And importantly, it is a film that really doesn't take itself seriously. And to be fair, when you go in to watch this film, you shouldn't take it seriously either, because if you want a bit of light entertainment, if you want something to stick on to have a laugh, this is the kind of film for you. And again, I know we're doing this quite a way out after cinema release now, so it'll be on video on demand and streaming services quite soon. A premium video on demand boom, as it has been referred to. But this is a film that really should be seeked out, and it is the epitome of a should-be-watched kind of film. As you can tell, we're on the main podcast OBS page today, so we have access to the old Talking Smit about film assets. But this is the epitome of a should-be-watched kind of film, because it's a relatively independent film made for, $6 million? It was a very cheap film in terms of its production. Didn't play many cinemas. We were lucky to get it in Preston when we did, on a very washed-out Screen 7, if I say so myself. Head office, if you're watching, get it sorted. But Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent was an incredibly strong film, and it's a movie that was made for film Twitter, as it were. So if any of you guys have had a chance to watch Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, let us know in the comments below, because as is always the case, I do like reading what you guys have think. That's the nice thing about being a film critic. It's the discussion about the films afterwards. It's the best bit, a good job. That's it for content this week here on the TheJackSmit.com YouTube channel. We'll be back on Tuesday night with our big State of the Industry address within the journal, where we look back at the last 12 months. Because, guess what? It's a year since the cinemas reopened, so it's time to start looking at the stats and seeing how well the industry has fared in the first 12 months after we got the doors back open to our favourite places in the world. And it is a good time to be a film fan right now. The amount of refurbishments, the amount of new seats that are going in, the amount of cheeky price rises that some chains are implementing. If you're watching this today, then my locals put its prices up for the first time in 2 years, and we're not fans of it. But this is a big couple of weeks for the film world. Doctor Strange is out, the industry's back at full capacity, and what more is there to like? So until next time, I've been Jack from TheJackSmit.com, and until the next time we see you next week, we'll see you at the movies.